Kaimere is a distant planet. It is defined by waves of life brought from Earth and set free to evolve independently in this new context. The indigenous life of the planet, swarms of microbes called magic by the people who live there, are what harvest Earth organisms and make copies on Kaimere. As the asteroid which concluded the Mesozoic never struck Kaimere, dinosaurs remain the dominant terrestrial megafauna.
The Seridic Wetlands is a vast culmination of 1,000 rivers. Including its northern tributaries, it contains more water and territory than the Amazon. Though the mountain and highland sources have vast flows, much of it is a slow, lazy glade pocked with lakes, some quite deep. Various herds of megafauna, including hippo, rhino, water buffalo, olifant, thescelosaur, and ceratopsid dinosaurs, crocodilians, and of course 3 great theropods, the bakar, zentar, and kurojaku, all carve channels between the rivers, making for a vast interchanging habitat. It is a waterway teeming with fish, both large and abundant. Though this is a habitat with many dangers, there is one name which the local peoples utter with particular unease. Renzhuyo. Death crawls from the river. Though long classified by the Assembly as a freshwater seal, likely related to the panther seal of the inland sea, the Great Library has long classified them as being related to the mud bear of Kajar and southern islands and dire otter, sharing similar sheer-jawed predators of Kaishel. The two organizations came to a much more comprehensive understanding when comparing fossils of these animals throughout Kaimere's history with those of Earth. Rather than being seals, the clade belongs to Hyaenodonta, an order of predatory mammals, extinct on Earth and much understood as the carnivorans before carnivorans. Despite being named after hyenas and compared to bears and wolverines in general appearance, they are only distant relatives. Another difference between them and their hyena namesakes is that while their jaws are definitely powerful, the molars are adapted to cut, not crush. The cutting teeth of some taxa folded over time so that they would be kept sharp by wear. Because of this, they would be well adapted to process meat at a faster and more efficient rate than modern carnivorans like wolves or big cats, yet that they would be far less versatile in what they could eat. Though robust apex predatory hyaenodonts, like Hyaenodont itself, were collected during the Oligocene harvest, these failed to establish themselves for long in the stable dinosaur-dominated ecosystems at the height of the Tyrant dynasty. Instead, it was smaller hyaenodonts in the clade Aterodontidae, which had semi-aquatic adaptations and led a similar life to otters, which were the breakout stars of this clade in Kaimere. Some assumed a similar niche to marine otters, venturing out into open water where the Kaishelan clades are derived, including a lineage which became secondarily more terrestrial. Others became robust wetland predators, with the largest still found in the wetlands of Kairul as a hairless, bulky predator that punts along the bottom of rivers like a hippopotamus. Another clade, to which the Renzhuyo belongs, called Fucopatomidae, developed a streamlined lateral stroke body plan specialized as a fully aquatic animal. Although their rear half resembles a seal, their arms remained fairly long and even increased in flexibility, helping when navigating debris in their freshwater habitats. The dynastic extinction impacted the clade, though many species survived. In Kairul, the Fucopotomid river seals were particularly successful. The macropredatory genus Temnodon evolved in Kairul as early as 8 million years ago, and with modern giant 7-meter species still found there, though it was a small 2-meter species of Temnodon which spread in all directions, pursuing fish and small mammals along the coasts and making its way to the known world. They can survive in salt water, though they certainly prefer freshwater conditions, which is why they found much greater success in the Seridic Wetlands. As they don't do well in open water, given far superior agility to speed, and they can only swim fast in short bursts, the lazy rivers of the Seridic Wetlands was a perfect habitat. Considering their abundance in these waterways, one could be forgiven for assuming that they are an ancient and stable presence, yet it really does appear as though they are a recent arrival, perhaps as recent as within the past million years. Kimere is well known for rapid regional success of recently harvested fauna, but the same advantages can apply to animals from other Chimeran continents too. Although found throughout the northern freshwater ecosystems of the Crescent, mostly in the Seridic Wetlands to the east, but with a small population to the west, Renzhuyo are not found anywhere else in the known world. A very poor tolerance to cold, thanks to pretty much no fat deposits, is suggested as to why they have not circled south around the southern peninsula of the Crescent to spread to the wetlands of Arvel and mainland Nikar, meaning their ancestors probably passed through rivers near various gulfs along the east coast, north of the Crescent interior. Whatever their origins or barriers, they are among the most abundant predator of their size and niche in the Seridic Wetlands, outnumbered only by crocodiles, which can get as large on a much less demanding diet. Renzhuyo are cited as a likely reason for the relative low abundance of big cats like tigers and red panthers, common in other wetlands of the known world. Though their ancestor was smaller, Renzhuyo are quite large and formidable, with females reaching lengths of 3 meters and weighing half a ton. Males are a meter longer and can double the mass. They are versatile predators, tackling a wide range of large fish, crocodiles, deer, and even juveniles of hippo and large drake. Though not pursuit predators, their burst of speed and power backed by staggering agility enables them to not only catch and overpower a wide range of prey, but also to escape threats like larger crocodiles, kurojaku, and bakar. Although Renzhuyo are not naturally man-eaters, it seems that they can quite quickly develop a taste for people in the habitat, thanks to already possessing a highly adaptive diet. This has naturally given them a legendary status in the folklore of the Seridic, speaking to them with great fear and reverence. There is a creature called the Jirkun, the drowned children, which are spirits of children dragged to a brutal death by these beasts. The endless fear of these children, at this most terrible end, manifests as a demon with the form of a seal and a man, stalking the marshes and seeking to drown their parents, who could not save them. It is not known by the Assembly if these are true creatures, either a wild demon or homunculi, or perhaps simply folklore, though their frequency of magical creatures and comparatively unexplored nature of these wetlands by Assembly and Great Library means that there is certainly a possibility for such a creature to exist. Male Renzhuyo are solitary animals. They mark their territory with resonant screams. Females are often have several cubs at varying growth stages living with them, and they will themselves have territories that intersect with their sisters and other related females. They sometimes look after related cubs, or at least tolerate their presence while their mother hunts. Part of this appears to be driven by the slow growth of Renzhuyo. Like most Hyaenodonts, their last teeth rupture at the age of 3 to 4 years, and their growth slows at this time as well. Subadults can survive on their own and don't entirely rely upon their mother for food, though especially as their teeth are in replacement, it can be very helpful to have a steady source of easy meals. Protection by mothers and related females is suggested to be one of the main keys to their success over big cat competition, although the faster growth and larger litters of the latter may be a competitive advantage in other regions. Until more detailed studies can be conducted in the Seridic Wetlands, much of this remains conjecture. The Renzhuyo is a strange yet iconic member of the Seridic Wetlands. Their might as predators and reputation as man-eaters affords them respect and fear amongst the local peoples. In such a competitive habitat, it is no surprise that the most successful possess such ferocity. My great thanks to Eddie for sponsoring this episode. The Renzhuyo is a creature I originally designed with the help of Devon, the winner of a creature design contest on Instagram I conducted back in 2020. It was originally a seal, but with Devon's consent, I lumped it in with the aquatic Hyaenodonts I was developing at the time. Thank you so much to my Patreon patrons, many of whom joined after the Ballad of Kahai. After such an ambitious project to be one of my top viewed videos for a while is very exciting and a good signal for future pieces along those lines. Thank you so much for watching. It helps in more ways than I can say. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and I will see you next week when we discuss the domestication of Kimere's dragons. Cheers, folks!